Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.
Election day has finally arrived.
It's pretty smooth, almost a little quiet.
And while it was relatively smooth, Guam Election Commission Executive Director Maria Pangelinan says since the polls opened at 7 a.m., the phones were already ringing.
Calls are coming in, calls mostly for first and foremost, early in the morning at about 7, ballot boxes being locked the wrong way from 3 precincts.
8 stations with telephone operators were set up at the GEC offices all day. Aside from minor issues with ballot boxes, the GEC also received calls over voters who were not registered and issues with precinct officials not reading write-in instructions properly. Pangelinan says the GEC was also called over an issue with a precinct official at Okudu High School.
In one of the precincts, one of the precinct officials raised his voice towards other precinct officials. So the first thing that happened was the police officer called us to assure us that everything was under control and that the voting process was proceeding.
Pangelinan says this misunderstanding resulted in the precinct official leaving and being replaced. The most common call, however, was over political signs too close to polling sites.
Across the island, I think, not from what I'm seeing here at our office, a lot of the calls coming in are about electioneering. So, as they come in, we call the candidates or their office or their point of contact, and they're graciously saying, "Okay, we'll take them down."
Throughout the day, members of the commission visited all the polling sites to check how operations were being handled. Aside from these concerns, Pangelinan says her biggest worry was voter participation. This year, there are 51,713 registered voters, the most compared to the past 2 mayoral elections in 2012 and 2008. We should note the primary election had less than 50% voter turnout.
I'm kind of nervous about the voter participation. It's been pretty quiet in here, but we'll see where it goes, and we hope it picks up.
Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.